Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast.
Back. Week
Yeah,
two, baby.
we made it. We
Oh,
made it two in a row.
2 in a row.
It's exciting.
So when we get to like 102, do we stop and go, huh, well, we beat last time?
Yep, and then we can finally
it.
close up shop and wait another 4 years. What's new with you guys?
All right. So what's new in the pop culture world?
No,
Let's see.
I watched Pixels.
Oh,
That's true. All right.
We
What'd
could
you
lead
think of
with
it?
that.
all right. Let's continue with our Adam Sandler news.
Yes,
What did you-
Adam Sandler
What
news.
did you end up thinking of it, Jeremy?
I was like totally wrong about Josh Gad, it turns out, because I think he was the best part of the movie. I think he saved that film. I mean, everything else, in my opinion, was so-so. I mean, I didn't hate the movie, but I will say like the joke that they beat most into the ground was the Q*bert thing.
Oh yeah, the Q*bert joke. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, all right. It was funny the first time he talked, even though Q*bert's not even supposed to say anything. But then they just kept going with it. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. Like, he's not funny. Like, this is not a funny bit. You're killing it. And then that was the whole end of the movie for me. It was just yelling at the Q*bert. But
I remember when I went and saw it in the theaters, like I just remember walking out going, "That's way better than I thought than it had any right to be." Really,
mm,
Yeah, agreed.
yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And I did like that also that they paralleled like the whole Billy Mitchell storyline with like, the King of Kong thing.
right?
Yeah.
I never watched it. I mean, I'm aware of King of Kong
Yeah.
and like the Billy Mitchell story, but like I don't remember all the finer like the in details. He was the guy who was the world champion of Donkey Kong or Pac-Man or both or
Yeah, and a few other things too. And then like with the whole Donkey Kong, there was like controversy because they thought like he had cheated or manipulated it somehow. So it kind of like he was supposed to be represented by that one character in the movie who was cheating.
Peter Dinklage.
Yes, yeah. Kind of looks like him too, actually.
I was gonna say I don't know if Billy Mitchell's that small, but
Well, no, but the hair and everything was pretty accurate.
I mean, but Peter Dinklage is just such a good actor.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you watch all the Game of Thrones, Justin?
Yes, I did. I've seen it all.
Okay. Because I know you tried to get me to watch it, and you lent me season 1, which I watched, and I was like, oh, it's pretty good. And then I never got around to watching it again until last year when Jess and I got HBO. Her and I burned through all 8 seasons in like 3 or 4 months. We binged that thing out.
Yeah, I had HBO just to watch Game of Thrones. Then after it ended, I canceled it, and now I just took someone else's HBO information.
Well, there you go.
So I don't pay for it anymore, but I still have it.
Well, I know
Good man.
Jeremy has access to some of HBO, not necessarily all of it.
Mhm. Does it take a while for that series to start picking up, or does it like?
I mean, if you're not into it in the like by the end of the first season, it's
Mhm.
it's probably not something that you're gonna get into.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
There are definitely times where it drags a little bit, but I mean, it's how many different ways can we kill somebody,
Mm.
and how many different ways can we get random background actresses naked?
Oh, all
Wow.
right. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I burned through the first season in like a weekend when I had it.
Yeah, to say, and whenever I watched it, because you had lent it to me, I watched it pretty quick, but I guess it was long enough that like by the time I sat down and watched it with Jess, I had forgotten. Like I remembered like the bigger plot points of the first season, but like all the finer details, I had completely forgotten them. So I was like, oh, like obviously where are you on Game of Thrones, or have you even started it? Jeremy.
Oh, me.
That's
Sorry.
you. That's you, Jeremy.
I think I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes of it, so I'm not
Okay.
far at all.
All right. Well, then I'll try to talk about it without giving too much away. Although, man, at some point when it comes to spoilers, like there has to be a moratorium of like we can only not spoil it for so many years.
Yeah, it's okay. All right.
Like a
Because I mean,
5 year
at this
mark.
point, the first season. I mean, at this point, the first season's what, 10 years old, 12 years old? I mean,
Is
I
it
don't
already?
know.
Oh my God.
well, I mean, you think about it, they did 8 seasons and they didn't do it in 8 years. Like
Right.
they spread
Right.
it out and it ended like a year or 2 years ago.
That's true.
So,
Well, you can spoil whatever you want. I probably won't. To be honest with you, I probably won't watch most of it. So.
well, you have Sean Bean
Mhm.
in the first season. And if you know anything about Sean Bean, you know what's going to happen to him.
Oh yeah, I seen him. I was like, oh, he's not going to make
Like
it.
whenever you see him in something, you know he's not making it. Like
Oh, that's like
Oh.
his thing. He's
yeah,
always
he doesn't
That's his shtick. He just
that's his
dies.
stick.
he doesn't like it, but yeah, if you go back and watch just about anything with Sean Bean, like he tends to die.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, he in fact actually at some point he said, if you send me a script where I die, I won't even respond. Like I'm just gonna throw it away.
Nice.
But yeah, so I mean, that obviously I remembered that from the first season, but you know, like just after and then after that, like I didn't have any clue what was gonna happen. I mean, I'd heard about the red wedding, but obviously I hadn't seen it, and so when you finally get to that, you're like, holy shit!
Yeah. I don't know if
Like
you
there's
watched.
definitely
I don't know if you watched the show Men at Work that was on TBS for like 2 or 3 seasons.
yes, you got me to watch that one. I did watch that one.
Yeah. I just remember that because I seen that before Game of Thrones. They were talking about the red wedding and like, oh, what'd you think of it? And the guy's like, oh, it was amazing. Like the dress was beautiful. It's like, yeah, you didn't watch the show.
Yeah, that show made me mad because like it ended in like a cliffhanger and was really good.
Yeah, I thought so. It just ended so abruptly and you were done.
I think I watched it when it was on Crackle. Like I binged it out in like a couple weeks.
Did you watch that one, Jeremy? Hear that?
Mm-mm.
Hear that one?
Mm-mm.
I think that was what Danny Masterson was in that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Breckenmeyer,
Yeah,
and then like some people that I don't remember.
that you recognize, but you don't know their names.
Yeah, no, that show was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'm pretty sure I'm caught up on Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
I did not catch up on that. I got to the one with all the celebrities though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah,
love
that-
that show. It's so good.
Ken Quapis. Bobby Moynihan is doing a pretty good job on that show.
Hmm.
Well,
I
I'm
agree.
gonna need to get a cough filter.
Yeah, we'll leave it in there.
Yeah. Just to show people how raw and real it is.
Yeah, people coughing all the time.
All right, so what do we got in pop culture news that we can discuss here? Let's
Yeah,
Bring
what's
it
going
to-
on?
let's bring up the old notes.
Did you watch the new Tom and Jerry yet?
That was actually number one on the list. I watched it this morning.
That's out?
Yeah, it just got released.
Oh my God.
It was
No, I
on,
didn't-
I started it, but I never got through all of it because there's some other stuff I had to take care of around here.
Yeah, we watched it all today. I'm glad that I got to see it at home and I didn't pay to go see it in the theaters.
Mhm.
Like so far, all the movies that I've watched on HBO, because I think we talked about it on the crossover special, but we'll just quickly go back over. HBO Warner Brothers plans on releasing all of its movies on HBO Max day that it goes into the theaters for 28 days or for 1 month. That part I don't remember. So on Friday night, on Friday when Tom and Jerry opened in the theaters, it also was available to watch on HBO Max for the rest of the month or for the next 28 days. Of the two movies that I've taken the chance to actually watch that they've done this with so far, I'm glad that I watched them both at home and I didn't go spend money in the theaters. Like I would have been mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom and Jerry was fun. I'm not mad that I watched it, but yeah, I mean, if I had spent like, what, $15 a ticket or however much those are up now too, like I think I would have been a little upset about that.
Yeah, I started that other one that we were talking about last week. I just never got through all of it. I thought that one was pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it this weekend, but I got distracted. I had to do some other things. I yesterday instead of I wanted to get my taxes done, because that's a really relevant pop culture item. But while I was doing the taxes, I threw on I just went to the Roku channel and just was like, what's on here for free that I can watch that I don't have to pay attention to while I do taxes? So Clerks 2.
Oh, nice. That's
That's
a
a
good
good one.
choice. Yeah.
So I don't know how much of Clerks 2 I was actually paying attention to because I was doing taxes, but yeah, I rewatched that. Although before, I guess, well, yeah, let's talk about Tom and Jerry a little bit more, and then we'll get to the other thing. How much of it would you say you watched?
Maybe 10, 15 minutes. So not that
No,
much.
not that much. All right, maybe we'll save Tom and Jerry for next week then.
We don't want to give away any critical plot details.
You know what?
Jerry.
If you've watched the Tom and Jerry cartoon, you know pretty much exactly.
How was Michael Pena in it?
Well, I mean, he was funny. I mean, he is. I mean, he's that comedy assassin you bring him in for. Like
Mhm.
when he's capable of doing drama because obviously he's done that a bunch. But like when you need a guy to come in and just deliver a ridiculous line but do it funny, like
Mhm.
you bring him in. Like he was kind of the straight man of the movie, but you know,
Gotcha. Sweet.
but yeah, I mean it's exactly what you thought it would be. I mean, it's
Mhm.
Tom and Jerry in the real world. Like it was, I don't know, it was kind of bizarre. It was weird. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't like it's not going to light the world on fire.
Mhm. Well, I haven't seen anything new this week except for Gary Busey Pet Judge. That was it.
Yeah.
And Pixels. I've been so swamped with other things.
Well, you know what I've been doing recently? I've been on this 80s kick that I was telling you about last week. I
Hmm.
did even more. This week I watched License to Drive
Nice.
and Spies Like Us.
Sweet.
Yeah, so instead of so last week I talked about how maybe I need to start being more current and more relevant with pop culture. We're
Hmm.
gonna have a pop culture podcast.
Yeah.
I immediately followed that up with going Corey Feldman in the very first Heather Graham movie from 1988, 85, whatever that one was. Sure, I should watch that.
Well, good. I'm glad we're continuing that trend.
And then
Yeah.
and then Saturday morning when I should have been doing taxes, instead I went Spies Like Us, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd. Count me in.
All right. Well, good. That's all the pop culture news we have for you.
That's now you're caught up on the 1980s.
Right. So I don't know. I don't really understand where this 80s obsession that I've had recently, because I mean, this started a month or two ago with, well, probably even maybe before the Eddie Murphy thing, but definitely with the Eddie Murphy thing. Like, I was like, oh, I'm restarting. I need to be in the now and in, talking about this and talking about that. Oh, let me just watch this 80s movie that people have been talking about. Let me watch this other 80s movie. Let me.
As a
Oh, yeah,
first.
I never saw that 80s movie. How about I watch that?
Oh, so they were both first time watches.
Yeah, I thought I had seen License to Drive
Hmm.
because I had convinced myself that I had watched it back in the day,
Hmm.
and I watched it Wednesday or Thursday night, whatever night it was, and I was like, none of this rings a bell. So I must be thinking of some other 80s movie about
Interesting.
driving.
Well, there probably were plenty. So,
Probably. Corey Haim's about to turn 16. He goes to get his license.
yeah.
Of course, he fails, but he doesn't want to admit it to his friends, so he sneaks out and like steals his parents' car and wacky and zany adventures ensue.
Nice.
He's trying to date Heather Graham, who like, other than the fact that she's just, obviously looks older later on, not in a bad way, but like she doesn't, you like immediately was like, oh well, that's clearly Heather Graham. Like she's not so drastically different that you're like, who is that? But no, like, yeah, I guess that was like her first movie, which I didn't realize she had been around that long.
Yeah, I never actually would have thought that either.
But yeah, I was struck by a couple of things with License to Drive, since I'm just going to force you guys to live in my world of 80s nostalgia.
All right.
Corey Haim was not a bad actor. Like he's pretty good. Of the Coreys, like he was clearly the one that had the more talent. And Corey Feldman, geez, he is, man, not good. Like, or he really only has like one style. Like,
what? How old was he in this?
Oh, geez, this would have been
16, getting his license.
Yeah, right around that time. Oh no, because that's right. Because I was reading about it and it said both of them were getting their driver's license while making the movie.
Okay.
Because they said it was weird or it's kind of weird for in the 80s tradition, or even now, like when they made Clueless, like Stacey Dash was like 32.
Wow.
And Alicia Silverstone was, I mean, she was younger, but she was nowhere near high school either. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think any of them were.
Right. Like, they make these high school movies and they're like, well, like when they did Mean Girls, like Lindsay Lohan was obviously right around high school age, but like Rachel McAdams was, mid-20s. Like,
yeah.
Why can't you hire actual high schoolers for high school movies?
Yeah, that is odd.
They do that even today with movies and TV shows.
I bet I could still get cast as a high schooler.
You'd have to shave.
All right, but everything other than that, I mean, it's like, yeah.
Me and Nicholas, not so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assume. You know that Not Another Teen Movie? Yeah, when that one lady comes in and she's like, I'm here to transfer. And she's like this 80-year-old like newspaper reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it would look like if I tried to go back to high school. They'd be like, that guy's a gap.
Yeah, I mean, even if we shaved the beards, I don't think we could pull it off.
Yeah, I would definitely have to, at the bare minimum, shave the beard and dye my hair. I think the sheer amount of gray hair I have would give me away.
Just not all gray. Like, it's the style.
That is true. It is. Are either of you caught up with WandaVision?
No, I don't even have Disney Plus.
I'd say the better question is, did either of us start WandaVision?
Well, this is becoming very hard. If the leader of the Pop Culture Podcast is only watching 80s movies, one of you doesn't have Disney Plus and the other one's refusing to watch it.
Well, what the fuck? I thought this was going to be like pop culture news and stuff.
No, it's Attack Us Day.
What the heck? Like, what's going on?
Oh, it's just
what's going on in the world of pop culture?
WandaVision, apparently.
WandaVision. Look at the internet. That's all they're talking about is WandaVision.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's come back next week when we've all watched WandaVision.
All right, next week I'll try to get caught up.
Well, there's only 7 episodes, and most of them are barely over half an hour, so that one's going to be relatively easy to catch up on.
All right,
somebody not having Disney Plus might make it a little more difficult.
No, I'll get Disney Plus.
I'm off Wednesday. Just shoot me a message. Just be like WandaVision. I'll be like, oh yes.
WandaVision.
Yeah, I'll send you Snapchats of my progress.
Well, some of us do have to work, so
I don't work that day. I'm good.
I've got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with all these shows. I mean, Gary Busey Pet Judge and Pixels. That was a whole week. I mean,
That's the week.
that fills up a spot.
Well, you probably watched Gary Busey on Monday, and then you're going to spend the rest of the week recovering.
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
Why did I watch this?
How could this happen?
I got so excited when I was scrolling through Amazon Prime because I seen it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be amazing." It's Gary Busey,
mm-hmm.
And it's not.
It was not.
It's not.
It was tough.
It doesn't get better. I've watched the next couple episodes. It does not get better.
That sucks. Like they have a good premise, but
so you are not giving it the pop culture roulette stamp of approval.
mm-mm.
No, I don't know. I don't know what the disapproval stamp is, but
I think it's just.
I'm going with that.
Yeah, I think it's just the disapproval stamp. I think that's what it's called.
Oh man, we'll have to get sound effects, Jeremy.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
And then we'll have to get one.
We'll have to get one sound effect when we give it the stamp of approval,
mm-hmm.
like, and then another one for like disapproval. It'll be like, or
I like that. All right, that's a good plan.
All right.
All right. Well, to go with not only not keeping up with modern, like just 80s movies, I also am rewatching Scrubs because of the Scrubs podcast.
So, yeah,
and I'm also rewatching Batman 66 because of the Hollywood Babylon podcast. So, like, I am at no point am I trying to keep up with like. Although I am watching WandaVision, so I guess that's one thing I'm doing over YouTube.
I suppose that's true. I'm just, what I'm doing. I'm actually just trying to create this whole podcast network out of nothing. But other than that, I mean, just this little thing I'm doing. I guess I could find some time to watch your little WandaVision.
And get Disney Plus.
And get Disney. Well, that first, and then
Well, once you get Disney Plus and watch WandaVision, you'll also have to watch 2 seasons of The Mandalorian.
I will do that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
What should I watch first?
Mandalorian.
Okay.
I mean, I would only say WandaVision because that's more like
Mandalorian.
But The Mandalorian is so damn good. Oh, and because of Mandalorian, because of something that happens in the second season of Mandalorian, I'm rewatching the Clone Wars.
All right.
So,
no spoilers.
Oh, I mean, by saying, "Oh, what's going on over there?"
God, the lights. They're blinding me. I don't know what happened here.
Okay. Well, here's some pop culture news that I did come across at some point earlier in the week. They announced the runtime for Justice League.
All right.
Snyder Cut.
Let me guess. 4 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. What's your guess, Justin?
4:38.
Well, if we're going by Price is Right rules, you both lose. But closest is Jeremy. It's 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Oh, wow, that's a long movie.
And Zack Snyder also has promised that it ends on a massive cliffhanger. Which they've also said, like, as of right now anyway, Warner Brothers has zero interest in making Justice League 2.
So they're really going to be leaving them on a cliff there. Because
right, so you're like, okay, we want you to rewatch a movie that sucked balls.
Yeah.
But we're going to make it 4 hours and 2 minutes long.
And somehow it's going to be better.
Somehow that makes it better.
Yeah.
But also, we're not going to end it. You have to hope that enough people, and I keep reading all these people online, and they're all like, "Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And it's like, guys, look at the history of Zack Snyder. Like, it's just not going to be. Like, his remake of Dawn of the Dead. That was, oh my God. I will be right back. I have to go solve the my cat being stupid problem.
Okay.
Hey, I still gotta send you that other stuff too. I gotta set up.
Yeah, dude. You should.
No, I started watching some of the DC animated movies again on HBO Max, and the Batman animated series.
The DC animated movies, are those the ones that are based on the actual comics, or like the graphic novels, or are they like
But
original?
some of them are originals, like what is it? Like something by Gaslight is one. The one I just watched was Justice League Dark versus Apocalypse, which like all of the superheroes get turned evil by Darkseid or by Apocalypse.
Hmm.
So it's like Superman, Constantine, Raven, and Robin are like the only good ones left.
And then you have to figure out how to like turn them
Yeah.
back, or
Yep. Well, a lot of them just died.
oh, that's unfortunate.
It was.
Is it a tearjerker?
No, I don't think it was. Well, not for me, anyways.
Has any of
Oh.
has any DC cartoon ever made you well up?
No, not cartoons.
Okay. What about DC movies?
I'm sure at some point they have.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back, Nicholas.
What's up, Nicholas? We're just
All right, so
talking about DC.
DC movies that have made me cry because of how bad they were.
Yes. I almost was like getting choked up when he gave me the runtime of that Snyder cut.
I I get a oh wow, I am really laggy right now.
Well, stop moving.
Freeze. It's like a rave
Jeez.
at in your basement or wherever you are.
It's living room.
Man, I'm a
Living
good
room.
I'm a good couple seconds behind on video right now, Jeremy. Is that a
Oh,
problem?
I mean, you could notice, but that's okay.
But
Yeah,
you're hearing me's fine.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
still interrupting.
So I mean I could do this and like
Good.
Yeah, we can see that pretty
and
clear.
Yeah.
you won't see that for a good 30 seconds. All right.
So
Oh, okay. Oh, I seem to be back. All right.
So do your animals.
yeah, I heard a little. Oh man, I've guessed.
All right. Okay, where were we? We were talking about run times of
Zack Snyder. You were
Zack Snyder.
talking about his Dawn of the Dead.
Okay. So Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead was good,
It was, I
but
guess.
like Man of Steel was just okay. Watchmen had a lot of good parts to it, but there was definitely some like some runtime issues with that one as well. But I think Watchmen would have been better served to have been cut either into two or like kind of expanded on so it could be cut into two.
Mm-hmm.
But then like you get to Sucker Punch.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think, was there another word in that one, or was it just Sucker Punch?
I think it was just Sucker Punch.
Yeah, that was just awful.
Was that about that girl who? That's all I really know about it. She was like an assassin or something.
Yeah, well, she was like there were a bunch of girls in like a mental institution,
Uh-huh.
and like they were trying to escape, and they were doing this, and at the end of the movie, like I mean, visually, I will give this much to Zack Snyder. Visually, all of his stuff looks stunning. Like he knows how to shoot a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's true.
but when it comes to like the script,
Mm-hmm.
it's oh.
What about 300? Did you like that?
Did he do that one?
I thought he did.
I did like that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed 300. I didn't see
Yeah.
the second one.
No, I never saw the second one either.
No.
I mean, he's no Uwe Boll.
That's true. It's kind of hard to get to that level.
I mean,
You really got to set yourself apart.
yeah, I mean to be Uwe Boll, you got to be something special.
Is he still like done with Hollywood?
I don't know. I mean, I can only look up so many things at once.
All right, fair enough. I thought maybe just off the top of your head you knew you had the Uwe Boll news.
Okay, I know I'm looking up Zack Snyder real fast so that we
Okay.
can accurately to see if I'm accurate or
Bad
not.
mouth his movies.
Right. Okay, director. He has directed. Okay, so his bunch of music videos. All right, so Dawn of the Dead was his first movie. 300 was his second movie.
Wow.
Then he did Watchmen, and then Sucker Punch, which was awful. Man of Steel, which could have been way better than it was. And then Batman Superman was just not good. Like
No, it
that's
wasn't
the
very
one
good.
that's the one the three of us went and saw, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we were so excited for it.
I mean, again, visually, it's
Yeah,
good,
it was good, but
but
the
they're killing Martha.
yeah.
Martha.
Why did you
Why'd you
say
say
that?
that name?
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with some of that stuff in there.
So yeah, I just so to think, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm holding out hope. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Zack Snyder's Justice League cut will be good and it'll be like, oh, this is the thing that's gonna save the DC universe. But I think I think it'll just be a further nail in the coffin. Like there I mean, I'm gonna tell you this much. On Twitter or in the internet, there's gonna be a fair amount of people who are gonna say that it was brilliant and it was the best thing ever, and nothing that Marvel has ever done before or since can hold a candle
Mm.
to it because they're such contrarians. They're
Mhm.
the people who will also try to tell you that like Endgame was the worst movie of all time, and that's just because they have to be different than everybody else. Like they have to be like, well, DC is just better. Everything DC does is better than Marvel. Marvel is just crap, and so there's gonna be people who defend it because. Did you watch Wonder Woman 84 when it was on HBO, Justin? Yeah, it was not good.
I didn't watch the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went
uh,
over this last week.
Yeah, and for DC, I pretty much stick to the TV shows because they're good at those, and the animated movies. Like those are good. They're live action stuff. They just for some reason they tank.
Are you guys gonna be watching that Superman and Lois show?
no,
No, not even gonna try.
no, I gave up on all of it on TV, and I'm just done. Like
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to care anymore. I just they can't keep just shoving an agenda down my throat and have me still want to be interested in it.
Wait a minute. What's the agenda on that one?
Well, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
Dive in.
we had nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how much of this episode do you want to be forced to edit?
Was it that bad? I thought this was just a show about Superman and Lois.
Oh, I have no idea. I've not. I mean, maybe that one is agenda free. It's entirely possible. But is Berlanti doing Superman and Lois?
Oh, probably.
You down there?
It's gonna be on CW.
I don't know which one you're pointing at. Is Jeremy down there?
You're down there. I'm poking your head.
Me and Jeremy are above you on my screen.
It's a Berlanti show, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that was the thing. Like, Arrow stayed relatively free of all of that stuff, but at some point with like Supergirl, it was every week was a special episode about so I mean I don't want to get too far into it because I don't want to put ourselves
You're just saying what the episode's about. It's okay.
I mean every other episode was her sister was a lesbian, and every other episode was like a special episode dealing with some like
Lesbian drama.
something to do with that. It's like I didn't care like when it was just like that was part of who her character was,
Mm-hmm.
and like it just whatever, like that didn't bother me. But like when it got to like every episode, like every other episode was like preaching about something,
Mm-hmm.
or same thing when like they brought in a character and I don't remember her name, but her superhero name was Dreamer,
Uh-huh.
and like and she is a transgendered actress.
Okay.
Whatever, I don't care. I mean, I want a good actress
Yeah.
and our actor. Like I want somebody who's capable of doing the job.
And you don't
Let's
feel that this person was,
no,
and they were just shoehorned in because
they
of.
were shoehorned in because of who they were,
Uh-huh.
and then every other episode was like ramming that down your throat as
Yeah.
to you must accept this, and it's like fine. Like on Orange is the New Black, that lady Laverne Cox, like fine, like she is a good actress,
Yeah.
so I can live with that. Like that's part of
Yeah.
who like that's okay. Like I'm whatever, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But like when you hire a shitty actress and then make every fucking episode
What are you
a
doing with the
special,
lights?
Sorry.
like, what are you doing
I
over
was
there?
trying to make them darker, not lighter.
I'm just distracted by it.
I'm sorry. I'm listening. Just ignore my lights.
But I mean, it would be the same thing of like if on Arrow, like every episode had been like about I don't know, like Wild Dog like had a drug ad problem, and every episode was about like every other episode was like harping on that. It was just like, come on, like
Mm-hmm.
get over it, like move on. Like it can be part of the character, it can be part of the continuing storyline. Well, Arrow had Mr. Terrific was gay, and that was just part of who he was. It was not um like it wasn't like every episode they weren't like, and now there's a cult out to beat all gay people, and like, oh my god, like all these aliens or it was just like and I felt that same way with Batwoman. Now that could be different in the second season because what's her name left the show and they brought in a new Batwoman.
Really? Just like right in the middle of the series, they just changed the main character?
Um, the girl who was playing Batwoman, Rose
I
something
don't.
or other,
Yeah.
decided she didn't want to do it anymore at the end of
And
the first season. So they hired another actress and changed the character. Like they didn't like continue her as whatever her character was.
oh,
They
okay.
just they brought in a new actress, and for some reason they like now she has the mantle of Batwoman. Like she found the costume, and now
Gotcha.
she's
And she's lesbian?
at least they were in the first season,
Oh,
and it
okay.
was
Yeah.
I don't like I said I don't know what they're probably continuing that in the second season, but I know the first season like that was like every other episode. It was just like they had to like really just push and push and push,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like that is just I mean it got annoying. Like
So this Mr. Terrific guy, is that a superhero made up specifically for that guy, or
no,
was this existing already?
he was Mr. Terrific was an existing character.
And what was he? Did he have a sexual orientation in the comics?
I couldn't tell you. I
Okay.
don't remember. He was such a third, fourth tier character
Oh,
in
okay.
the comics that like I knew who he was because he has one of the dumbest costumes. His costume in the comics is like a leather jacket. It's like black, white, and red that literally on the sleeves say Mr. Terrific.
Okay, he must have been gay then. In the comics too.
I don't remember. I but like it just when it became more like social hour and
Yeah.
like political agenda time
Mm-hmm.
and like it's no longer it's not a fun like I want to watch the fun superhero show.
Right.
Like I want to see the Flash fight Gorilla Grodd and them talk about like multiverse and like you know worrying about if Captain Cold's going to show up. Like I don't want to have to deal with the real world. Like I have enough of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, I hear you.
like
But are you gonna maintain that Star Wars Episode 8 does not do that?
what
Push agendas down our throats?
the Force Awakens?
The Rise of Skywalker.
That's
Isn't that 8?
no. Rise of Skywalker is 9.
Okay, what's
8
okay,
is last. 8 is Last Jedi.
Last Jedi? That's the one.
So 7 is Force Awakens.
Yeah.
No, because I don't feel like there was ever a point where they were like, she's only doing this because she's a woman. Like it was just like Rey being a woman was just accepted and as part of the thing.
Mhm.
Finn being black was just accepted and as part of the thing. It was never a like in the world of Star Wars, like racism didn't seem to exist in so much as that like I mean I think it existed in like, ooh, you're this alien species. It wasn't because you were black. So like it there's no like
Yeah, but that one lady was talking about the haves and have-nots.
well that was more I think about like money and like yeah, that was more of a social thing than or like not necessarily a class thing compared to a like Ray being a woman, therefore she was second class. Like
Yeah, but
I never really
they're still
felt like
pushing an agenda in our faces.
well, I mean there's a level of agenda pushing that is acceptable. Like Mr. Mayor, obviously there's an agenda being pushed there as well, but
Mhm.
it's not as bad or at least they're making fun of enough of it to not be like come on like
Mhm.
that's you know
That's true.
or like I said if it was like one episode like every so often
Yeah.
okay cool but like if you had a friend who like every time you got together with them all they did was preach about like one heavy political issue
Mhm.
you'd probably stop hanging out with them, right?
That's true. Yeah.
It does get annoying.
Yeah.
I mean I'm thinking of one person in particular.
I'm glad I don't know anybody like that.
But like if that's all they ever talked, every time you got together, all they wanted to be was like, and did you know another thing about like communism, or did you know another thing about masks, or did you
Right.
know another thing about? You just be like, and I'm busy Friday night. I can't.
Yeah,
Please
Yeah.
lose my number.
when you get asked to go somewhere and it's like, well, I know you're not gonna wear a mask and that's gonna cause an issue, so I'm not gonna go.
For
Right.
example, yeah.
Yeah, example. Not saying that's happened.
Yeah, I get that. So you're done with Berlanti for now until he
Right.
can.
I mean, and that it's just because it became the political agenda of the week, not the superhero fun time. Like I said,
Okay.
it didn't necessarily have to be like every episode had to just be like a super cool like how is Flash gonna beat down Captain Boomerang this week? It's gonna be they could have a series episode every so often, and I can live with that. But like if that was every week, and you're just like you're Supergirl, I want to see fighting.
Yeah.
Like we had a whole episode of you standing there in your costume, just talking. You're Supergirl. Beat up somebody.
I think you should make a show superhero fun time.
Superhero fun time.
Yeah, you just get a bunch of like action figures and you just superhero fun time.
Just ah,
Exactly.
It's a good plan.
not even do it like Robot Chicken style where they do like stop motion animation with
Nope.
the
Just literally our heads.
literally you just see like one of our hands come in with a superhero and like
Mhm.
like a Superman action figure
Yeah.
and we just
All you get is like from your eyes sitting above a desk, and you're just like,
Nice.
yeah,
no
million views.
no Batman, I'm going to destroy the city. No, you're not. Lex
Yeah.
Luthor. Ah,
No, they could just be anything. You just grab like a random like Thor,
Mhm.
Batman, Thor.
Oh,
man. The
ultimate
crossover we've always wanted.
Yes.
It's superhero fun time.
Take
Hey.
that, Snyder.
Here's Donatello. Hey, here's Optimus Prime. I hate you. I hate you. Ah, I'm a robot. I kicked a turtle.
Perfect.
I'll definitely watch that.
Sounds like $1 million idea right there.
Mhm.
Oh man. And relatively cheap as long as we don't have to go buy action figures.
That's
We can
true.
just use the various ones that we have in our basements.
Well, I'll start emailing distributors.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those I got.
So I'm looking up the costume for Mr. Terrific, and I guess I gotta take back what I said because that is a pretty cool leather jacket, actually.
No, Jeremy's looking for one on eBay.
Yeah, I'm gonna cosplay as Mr. Terrific, and
Next episode, you're wearing a Mr. Terrific jacket.
yeah, he looks like Soldier 76. Actually, he's kind of a
Oh, that's right. His says fair play on the side,
fair
not
play. Yeah,
Mr. Terrific. Yeah.
Who's-
I don't know. That's still pretty lame.
I mean, it is, but it's not as lame as I pictured in my head. I mean, and this actually, like the live action version looks pretty baller. It's like, I don't know. I got a jacket like that.
Well, and I mean, and this is the problem with all mainly DC, because most of Marvel doesn't wear, other than Spider-Man, really wear masks.
Mhm,
But like Mr. Terrific has a black T
mhm.
on his face, like some sort of like domino mask. I don't know about you, but like generally speaking, like if you're just covering up your eyes with like the barest minimum of a mask, like say Robin does,
Mhm.
and then like the next day, like some kid comes walking through and he's not wearing the mask, you're gonna look at him and be like, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you would think that that's really not enough.
Like you have like I think that's where like the Spider-Man doing like the full face mask, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe you're like, that voice sounds familiar, but like I mean, come on, Peter Parker's such a dweeb. There's no way he could be Spider-Man.
Right.
But like Robin, like you're like, hold on. Let me put this up to yep, that's it. Dick Grayson's Robin.
Yeah.
And if Dick Grayson is Robin and he lives with Bruce Wayne,
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I bet you Bruce Wayne is Batman.
I think I just cracked this thing. Yeah.
It's kind of amazing that more people didn't figure out Bruce Wayne's secret identity.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. He definitely gives himself away quite often with different things in life. I mean, in the last Batman movie, he was like, the last Nolan one, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go away for 7 years," and like Bruce Wayne's also going away for 7 years. It's like, well, it's pretty obvious that you guys are the same person then.
Well, or somewhat in same thing in the Nolan verse, like Bruce Wayne goes away
Yeah.
for as a kid, like he's like, I can't live here anymore. I
Mhm.
hate this place, and like he runs away,
Mm-hmm.
and then comes back to town and starts creating problems and taking the Wayne Foundation back.
Mm-hmm.
And Batman shows up at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, oh, gee, what a coincidence.
Oh,
So you're telling me?
I've got a douche of the week. You want to hear my douche?
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay. Might get us in some hot water again because this is about
Okay.
transgender issues.
Uh-oh.
oh boy, here we go.
So let's
All
see
right.
what happens.
Fire it up, Jeremy.
All right, so my douche of the week is Demi Lovato. She made a post. Basically, it's a repost of someone else that made this, but it's about why gender reveal parties are transphobic. And she says it's both insincere and incorrect to pretend that gender reveal parties are not transphobic. You can't have your proverbial pink blue binary cake and eat it too. This is not about political correctness. It's just correct. We condemn gender reveals not because of our identity, but because of reality. So what are we going to do now? Have some gray cakes instead?
I mean, as long as it's cake, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's cake, I
I
guess.
don't care what color it is
I have problems with gender reveal parties.
because they're stupid.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's same.
that I'll agree with. Yeah.
I have a massive problem with that statement because 99+% of the time you are born male or female. It's a basic science fact. Now, you get to, like, if you want to change that later in your life, or you feel like that's something that you need to change, that is an option that is available to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you were born one or the other. That is, you, that is pure scientific fact, like biologically speaking. Like, you cannot change that. You can say it till the cows come home, but it's biology. Like, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever is going on in your head mentally, or what you feel deep down within you, I that is between you and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel like you need to change your gender later on in life, more power to you. Great, have fun.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like that's fine, but we don't need to like start so early that we're changing these parties around
but your
now.
DNA is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, whether you like it or not, your DNA is what it is.
Mm-hmm. At least until we could figure out how to manipulate that pre-birth.
And that's a really dangerous slope that there has been hundreds of sci-fi movies made.
Well, what if they gave you the ability to breathe underwater? That would be
Again,
pretty cool.
that is a really, really dangerous slope to play on.
Yeah, well, not as
But
dangerous as this transgender issue.
I mean,
This
I
could
will
blow
say,
up in our face like a gender reveal party gone wrong.
I will say that's the bigger problem with gender reveal parties right now, is that people keep dying.
Yeah, and wildfires keep happening.
Yeah.
You know, 900 or 900 million or whatever, however many acres it was in California that burned 2 years ago because of a gender reveal party gone wrong,
Hmm.
or that one in Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago where the father died because he was setting up explosives.
Yeah, I mean, she should really get on her soapbox about that instead.
Right. If you are so desperate to have a gender reveal party that you have to have it, keep it to like the traditional cake.
Pop a
Hmm.
Or like
balloon.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, or
Yeah.
not or like I have seen the gender reveal fireworks.
Hmm.
Like, because when I do spend way more money every July on fireworks than I ought to, and then
But you still have all your fingers.
yeah, that is true. I do. Like, look at that. Look,
Wow.
and they all work mostly.
Yeah.
Um, Matt, my brother-in-law, and I spend a fair amount of money, and then a couple hours every July 4th out at the in-laws' house, launching off fireworks. I mean, we spent, I don't know, a couple years ago, we spent way. Last year, we realized 2 years ago, I think we spent close to $1,000. Uh,
Damn.
yeah. So last year we were like, okay, let's cut that back. We can have as much fun. We just don't need to buy that, because I mean, by the end of that year, we were just like, we weren't even having fun. We're just like, let's light these off so we can be done.
The chore.
Time to
This
go
isn't even
home.
this isn't even fun anymore. I'm blowing When you're blowing stuff up and you're not like, ooh, like, that's a problem.
Single tear every time. Come
Yeah.
on.
But there's still more in the box.
That's
So
funny.
last year we cut back severely on the amount that we spent. We had a lot more fun, but
Hmm.
we did see at the fireworks store they got like pink smoke and blue smoke fireworks. And those are relatively safe. Everything, no matter how much of an idiot proof you make it, somebody will find a way to hurt themselves. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
what's the statement? I'm probably gonna get it wrong, and I don't even know who to attribute it to, but it's like, the more idiot proof you make it, the world will just make a bigger idiot.
Hmm. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that little like smoke, like not necessarily smoke bombs, but they're basically like the little fountains that you light on the ground. You light, you walk away, and maybe they shoot a couple feet into the air, and then they got
Hmm.
smoke. All right, if do that.
Hmm.
Yes, great, okay. Or the pink cake, the blue cake, the whatever. If you absolutely feel the need to do it,
Do that.
But
Yeah.
The balloon in a box. Just do it indoors.
Yeah. So that's the stance we're gonna take. And Demi Lovato she's up for the vote.
I think you're the only candidate.
I thought I had one, but well, I guess I don't know. Well, let's put it up to debate.
Okay.
Hasbro.
Oh no. Justin?
I don't know.
You have not heard, Justin. You didn't hear about this?
I stay off most social medias all the time.
Oh,
Like I
but this
don't.
would have directly affected you at work
Yeah.
Oh, the Mr. Potato Head.
when they announced that
That
they were
doesn't
dropping.
affect me. I'm not over in that area.
Oh man, I was told that you guys sold out of potato heads
Oh,
so
yeah.
fast that day.
So they can
I
what,
was
resell them?
what day was that? Thursday or Friday when they made the announcement? And
Something like that.
whatever day it was, I was told that there was like 28 Mr. Potato Heads on the shelf at the beginning of the day, and by the end of the day, every one of them was gone
That's insane.
That's a
because everybody was
marketing
like, "I've got to
ploy.
go get Mr. Potato Head now," while it still says it, you know.
hmm
But Hasbro backtracked on it, and this is where we're going to have to debate. The initial statement was, "We are dropping Mr. and Mrs. It is just now going to be Potato Head."
hmm
Now they're saying, "No, no, no, you misunderstood.
hmm
It's just going to be under the Potato Head brand, the Potato Head label. The
Uh,
box is still going to say Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head. We're just, we're just the top of the box is just going to say Potato Head, like it's now like
oh.
a brand name."
Okay.
So I guess this is where, do we want to nominate them for douche of the week or not? Because clearly they did not understand the can of worms that they were opening up, and when they said it, they were expecting everybody to be like, "Oh, oh, oh, round of applause! Oh, look at you! You're so woke! You're so oh!" And they got, "What the fuck?" And so they immediately were like, no, that's not what we said."
hmm So you think they actually did backtrack? Like they
Oh,
weren't. It wasn't a
I
mistake.
Yeah, no, I mean, they will try to say it till they're blue in the face, but I 100% believe that was a total backtrack.
Interesting. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that is kind of douchey then, but I'm glad that they decided to change their minds.
Yeah,
They could have just stuck with their guns, and then, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't really care either way because,
It's kind of simple. I'm in. I'm like, oh, whatever. Just call them
well,
potato heads. Who cares? They should make.
I have a
They need to make one where it's potato head, and then they put both genders in it, so you can choose your own gender.
well,
Mhm.
that's what I think they were saying they were going to start doing, but
Transgender potato head.
Yeah, whereas
but
them potato head or they
Yeah.
potato head.
It potato head.
I mean, I know we've talked about this in the past, but I don't know if either of you remember it, but I do have a fair sizable collection of potato heads.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jeremy's like, oh yeah, I know.
Because I've got like Spider Spud, Iron Man, Groot,
Don't you have a
Homer.
Transformer one too?
I got a couple Transformer ones. I got the Toy Story set, so like Buzz and Woody. Um,
Wow, I didn't know they made so many different ones.
oh, and it wasn't even like I intentionally set out to collect Mr. Potato Heads. A friend of mine gave me one as like a going away gift.
Mm.
It's like the pop fig problem. You got someone gives you
Yes.
one, and
Yeah.
you're like, I must get them all.
Well, so a friend of mine gave me, and then so I had that sitting on my shelf because I thought it was cool. And then somebody else was like, "Oh, you collect potato heads," so they bought me one. And then I saw one that I thought was cool, so I bought myself one. And next thing I know, now I have like 30 potato heads or more. I don't even know how many I have. And yeah, same thing with pop figs. You, Justin, gave me 1, and then now I have, I don't know, a couple hundred.
Yeah, that was me. I think I did the same thing to Lars and Tony.
Yeah. I don't know what you. I don't know. I know Tony has a bunch. I don't know about Lars.
He's got a bunch too.
I guess there's worse things to collect or spiral out of control with. Plus, they do make good decorations. I mean, those pop fakes stack so perfectly in their boxes.
I got a couple different ones that I just bring up seasonally. Like I
Mm,
got some Halloween themed ones. I bring those up and I take them down.
nice, nice.
Huh.
I've got a plan for a shelf that I'm gonna build in one of the rooms up here, and then I was drawing in my head. I need to put pen to paper a little like styrofoam or cardboard like tier system, so like they can sit like I could put like 3 on a shelf without sticking them on top of each other.
Oh
And
yeah.
I can kind of set them up so I can. I don't know. It's just an idea I have in my head. Who knows
Hmm.
when or if I'll ever get around to it.
Yeah, we've all got those ideas.
Hmm.
One of these days I'll win the lottery, and then I'll have all sorts of free time.
That's a good idea. I think you should definitely do
That's
that.
that's my plan.
That's a good plan. Mm.
Well, the only other thing I have on my list of potential topics for today is game shows.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot.
Jeremy's intrigued. Go
I know
on.
I know Jeremy made a game show recently, which if you haven't checked out, go over to Media Pod Smash and listen to that. That's
Oh
a
yes.
that's a
Thank
pretty
you.
fun listen.
Thanks for the
Um,
plug.
but I've been watching the Celebrity Wheel of Fortune,
Nice.
which it's funny because like I think the puzzles must be like way easier than like they normally are. And sometimes like I'm sitting there going, how do you not get this? How do you not see what the answer is? Like clearly it's
Right.
yeah. So that's and then there's a new game called The Chase. It's a trivia one where you have 3 contestants going up against either Ken Jennings, Brad something, and James Holzhauer, the 3 biggest Jeopardy champions of all time.
Oh, it's like the King of Pop Culture segment.
Kinda. So at the beginning of the episode, like those 3 guys are sitting behind the stage,
Hmm.
and then so you got your 3 contestants out front, and then I guess they like a light flips on, and then one of the 3 walk out, and so he sits on top of the like higher up on the stage, and then
Oh yeah.
you come out, answer a couple questions, which gets you some money, and then you go over to him, and then you battle head to head.
Hmm.
So he starts up top, and you start down below, and the more questions you answer, the money comes down until it gets down to you. But if he catches you, like if his pointer gets to the money before the money gets to you, then you're out. And Brad Rutter, that's what it is. Man, there we go. So that's been kind of fun and interesting to watch.
Sweet.
Like I should try to get on some of these game shows.
You should. That'd be awesome.
And then of course we would have to make a pop culture roulette shirt that I could wear.
Yes. That would be incredible.
Maybe one day we'll get far enough along where we need to make merchandise.
Hmm. Like
Yeah.
hats and bumper stickers and mouse pads and
Other
Yeah.
things.
tote bags,
Yeah.
coffee mugs. What's your dream game show? What would you want to be on the most?
Well, I would say it would have been Jeopardy, but I don't know anymore. I don't know. Like I would do. Like I feel like I could do really well on like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or even the Chase thing, because it's so random.
Mhm.
But like Jeopardy, like I know a lot about certain things, but like that last episode of of Media Pod Smash where you guys were playing it,
Mm-hmm.
and like my fear would be I'd get on Jeopardy and there'd be 5 or 6, however many topics they have,
Mhm.
and it would be opera, math,
Yeah.
pro
Yeah.
golf. Okay, 6 things I know nothing about. Awesome.
Right.
Like
I don't know, Jeremy, what show would you want to be on?
Probably. I don't know. Probably like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Just something simple. Or no. The one with the briefcases. Deal or No
Let's make a
Deal.
deal. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that show still on? Deal or No Deal?
no,
No.
No, that's been going a long time.
Weakest Link would be a fun one to be on.
Oh yeah, I
Does
did
Wipe-
watch some of those. Yeah.
does Wipeout count as a game show?
Oh yeah, that counts.
Can I be on Wipeout?
That'd be fun.
Because weakest link though, I'd have to be careful. Like I might have to occasionally get a couple wrong just on purpose, so like they don't kick you. Like, you don't get kicked out before the final round. Like
Oh yeah.
you clearly don't want to be. You don't want to get them wrong too often because then you get kicked out.
Right.
But if you get them all right, like when you get down to the final 3, both the other 2 people will pick you, so they don't have to face you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Yeah.
a strategy. There's
Yeah.
a game there.
Right.
Like,
Gotta play dumb.
There's some
But you
mind
can't
games
play-
going on.
you got to play dumb, but not too dumb.
Hey, I've been doing that my whole life. Anywho,
Well, I got some segment ideas for the future
All right.
episodes.
Okay.
All right, so I'll pitch you some things here. This is a game that I thought of. It would be I come with a real serial killer quote or a bunch of fictional ones. And you have to tell me if it's a real serial killer or a fake one.
Okay.
All right.
do we get options? Like,
Yeah.
are you gonna be like, is this Ted Bundy? Is this
No, I'll give you the quote, but you
Dahmer?
just have to tell
Okay.
me if it's a real serial killer that said or a fake one.
got it?
Or I could do the options, I guess. I don't know. I didn't flesh it out yet.
The options were real or fake. Those are your options.
Yeah, I guess those are your options. Yeah. All right, then. Let's see. 90s sitcom generator. This was a game that I was going to play on 90s Nostalgia Showdown, but it didn't fit anywhere. So it's like the Christmas game where we had the hat with the topics. And
Okay.
yeah, and I'll pull topics that we have to like make our own 90s sitcom based on the topics that we were given.
Right.
All right. Then this is a segment where we decide if certain things jump the shark. Like we'll pick one topic or category, and then we're like, oh, did that jump the shark? And when did it do it? We can debate on that.
Okay.
All right. We could do list episodes where one episode we just come in with our top 5 or whatever. Like, for instance, our top 5 Arnold movies. Because I know we definitely have some of those.
I'd have to. Oh man, narrowing it down to just the top 5.
I mean, yeah, it's really tough to do.
Yeah.
But, stuff like that. And then we could do a little homework. And then my other idea was
You're just trying to get me to do something.
maybe.
I just show up.
Well, my last idea was once we get the wheel going, we could also use the wheel for a different selection of categories. And when it lands on a category, we do once a month, we do one show that's like super hyper focused, like we used to do with the early episodes of Pop Culture Roulette, depending on what it lands on the wheel.
Okay.
So like we could put all sorts of different stuff on it one week. It could be like zombies, whatever, any number of weird things, and then it lands on that. And then once a month we do that kind of hyper focused show. If you want to do something like that.
Of all the ideas, I mean, I like most of the ideas, but I like that one.
Okay. Cool. But then we'll actually do homework. I'll actually, unlike the other times we tried it, I'll actually bring my stuff in. I can't speak for you, Justin, but
Good call.
I'll bring it in. I'll bring stuff in.
Are we gonna just keep it to 90s sitcoms, or are we just gonna do Like sitcom generator.
sitcoms, I guess. I guess I just
Okay.
said 90s because it would happen to be, it was going to be used for the 90s show, but yeah, it could be any kind of sitcom.
Okay. Sitcom generator. All right, I like that one. That could be
All
a lot
right,
of fun too.
cool. So that's some stuff maybe that people could look forward to in the upcoming weeks. And I'm
All
working
right.
on we're getting to the website too, maybe.
As well,
Yes.
possibly,
Yes.
maybe.
Maybe. At least something as a placeholder for our episodes, even if there's not a lot of detail on it. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, all right. So I guess just remember, stupid never walks alone.
All right.